Today I effed up by giving my mom my old AirPods. I won AirPods in a raffle a couple months ago and decided to give them a trial last night. Overall, I wasn't a fan of them and prefer to use my wired earphones. I asked my mom if she wanted them and she gladly accepted. I work nights and got home around 6:30 AM this morning. I get to my room and decide to wank one out before I fall asleep. I turn on a nice video and get to work. Halfway through, the sound stops. So I try turning up the volume with no success. As I'm trying to figure out why the sound stopped, I see the tiny earphone symbol in the corner of my screen. I quickly realize that my mom is getting ready for her morning walk and put the AirPods in her ears and heard my nice video on full blast. Later that day she gave me back the AirPods and said she didn't like them either. TLDR. Gave my mom my old AirPods without realizing they were still connected by Bluetooth to my phone and she heard the porn I was watching at 6:30 AM on full blast. At that point, do you turn off the video to give her confirmation that it was you watching porn or just let the video keep going, maybe letting her think the AirPod has been haunted and is reproducing? Modern music sure is sexualized. Double quote. Certified freak. 7 days a week. And this is why I turn off Bluetooth when I'm not actively using it. That and battery life. Bluetooth power usage is negligible if not in active use. Even in active use. TBH. A modern smartphone battery can power a Bluetooth signal for something like 3 months straight. That number is assuming no other power use. Which is impossible. But it gets the point across. The fact she gave them back is the best part. LMAO. She didn't like them either, lol. I can imagine the mom thinking that some AirPods just play porn noises randomly and decided it wasn't for her. Today I effed up PDATE putting my boss in the hospital. So I'll begin where I left off yesterday. Original post if you haven't seen it. Paramedics loaded my boss onto a wheeled stretcher, or whatever they call them, and put him in the back of an ambulance to go off to the hospital. I seriously thought that he was in big trouble because the paramedics were treating him like he was having a severe heart attack. He looked like he was on the verge of dying as they loaded him up. Anyway, afterwards my other manager tells us all to go home. It was Labor Day so there weren't that many people working. I go home and I'm freaking out. Nervous as hell until my manager called me and told me my boss was stable but it was close. Come in tomorrow for work at 10 AM, we need to have a discussion. At this point I'm double freaking out because I'm thinking shit, I'm going to get fired over a stupid ass spider prank. Right, double quotation mark. I get into work at about 9:50 and I make the dreaded trip up to my desk. At this point everyone in the office knew I basically killed our boss and literally everyone stopped to stare at me. I just kinda tried to keep my head down as I was thoroughly embarrassed. I got to my cubicle and my manager was already standing there. Don't put your stuff away, this will take just a moment. Right, double quotation mark. He takes me to my boss's office. Which I thought he was going to ask what the spider on the fishing line was doing there and then. After I answered, fire me. Door was already open and after I walk in my manager tells me to take a seat and then he closes the door after I step in. He stayed out. I sat down. Pretty much sweating out of my clothes and all of a sudden, to add insult to injury, my boss sneaks up behind me and yells thought I was dead hard. Right, double quotation mark. Well at that point I basically shit my pants frightened like a little girl seeing a monster in the closet. He claps me on the back and I turn around. The fucker is wearing no shoes and was hiding behind the door to creep up behind me. At this point I'm both relieved, terrified, and just generally shook. And he sits down and tells me how he did it. Apparently the manager, my buddy from last post, that let me in early on Labor Day, told him about my entire plan. My boss knew about the spider and pretty much planned around my move. The fucker literally let a bunch of workers have a half day to foil my prank and got his EMT buddy to make a quick stop by to treat his heart attack. Right, double quotation mark. I'm never pranking my boss again. On a good note, I'm not fired. DR had a juicy prank for my boss. He faked a heart attack. Let half the workers have a 1/2 day. Scared the shit out of me by coming back to life. And now I'm not fired and never pranking again. He really just pulled out an reverse card. I swear I peed a little when he scared me in his office. Honestly, your boss sounds pretty ask me anything-zing if he's willing to pull out a smut just to counter prank someone. Buy a photo frame and place a reverse Uno card inside. Wrap it up and gift it to him. He earned it. Yup. At this point, gracefully admitting defeat is the only sensible option. The greatest prank isn't a prank at all. It's fear. Dwight Schrute. Fucking epic. That's why he's the boss. His boss is M. Night Shyamalan. Happy Cake Day.